Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I am back again doing your mid-January 2016 monthly tarot horoscopes. This is for everyone with their ascendant, sun, or moon in the lovely Aries. Now, I did record my video actually, and I had intended to post it with everybody else's, but I didn't feel like it was very cohesive, and I wanted to do it again. And also, my camera, I'm going to be getting a new camera soon, so you know, my camera's kind of on the fritz, I think. You know, it's Mercury retrograde though too. So I wanted to do this video again for you, and I just hope you guys like it. So. Just so you guys knew, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I do have a new website. It's oracledaphne.com. I will put the link for you right here, and I am going to you know, be updating it, you know, on a daily basis, basically. It's very easy to schedule with me. You just pick a date and time from my calendar page. That's on there. I am updating it constantly. It's good to always check with me first, though, because if I do run behind for some reason and I haven't had a chance to update it, you know, the spots go very quickly, especially if it's within 24 to 48 hours. So if you're booking farther out, chances are that it's pretty much, you know, I'm available at that time. But if you're booking within a day or two, definitely check with me first. And that's it. You just pick a day and time and then email me, elizabetholson31@gmail. And of course, I'm going to leave all of that for you here. You know, but yeah, and part of my voice, it's a little bit froggy from yesterday, all of this recording, and the Mercury retrograde, I've had to re-record pretty much all of my videos, so it's twice as much. It's been twice as much as normal. So anyways, let's just see what you guys get. Again, I'm using my Shadowscapes deck. You can buy it on Amazon, but, you know, the interpretation of the cards, I have taken artistic creative license with these cards. So the meanings of the cards, you're just not going to find in the book. You may find some similarities. There's a couple of cards, of course, and I do, interpret a lot of things like traditional tarot, but there are certain cards that you're just not going to find, you know, the meaning, because that's my interpretation of it. So if you are learning tarot, you're new to tarot, watching these videos might not be the way to go if you're trying to do it like the old-fashioned way. This is the way I do it. So anyways, let's just see what you guys get. I did feel, because I did complete the Libra video already, I did see similarities with you and Libra. You also may be in a relationship to a Sagittarius. There's also Virgo showing up here too, which is interesting because it's a very similar spread than the one I did before. So I'm just going to start off with what's going on in the heartbeat of the reading. You have a couple of really interesting cards, and I want to say there's some major stuff that's going to be happening, I feel, towards the end of January. But I'm going to start the middle of January, and for those of you who are new, I like to do mid-month videos. I post twice a month. I usually post actually a little bit later than I have been, around the 15th, 16th, or 17th, and a lot of people will like wait for this, and they get very anxious for my mid-month readings, but it really is, things do change, and so I like to do the general reading, but this is kind of to check in, and so this is for the last 2-3 weeks in January, even to early February. These are the energies for that time, and so I'm starting off mid-January, right around the time where I'm going to be posting this. This is the energy that's going on at that time. So that's when I say mid-January, that's what's happening. That's why. So you've got two cards that are very conflicting, okay, Aries. One of them is Eight of Cups. And it might have been Pisces that got this. You might have an Aries. This may be like an Aries-Pisces combination where you're in a relationship with a Pisces. Or you just may have a Pisces in your life. You know, it could be your mom, your daughter, you know, somebody around you that's Pisces. The Eight of Cups is, though, about completing karma, okay? This meaning of this card is completely original. You know, I really created it this way because there really wasn't, and this is just my interpretation, because there wasn't really a card about completing karma that I found appropriate in the deck. So this is a card about someone who's an older soul who's traveled through the galaxy. A lot of times it's an older soul, doesn't have to be, which is like Pisces, because they've gone through, you know, so much already astrologically to get to be Pisces, that they've wrapped up their karma. They finalized everything that they really needed to learn, to pay off. It doesn't mean that when people, you know, complete karma, it doesn't mean that lessons aren't still learned, because they are, and there's still tests and things like that, but it's not karmic tests. It's not karmic related. It's not like past life related. It's new, or it's what they signed up for anyways, regardless. But this is also completion, perfection, and harmony. So this is like the kind of thing where you get, things are going really, really well. You know, you get to a point where things are flowing very well. And because you've completed karma, you know, you're just, you know, you're being showered with abundance and love from the universe. So the thing about this is that it's actually really positive. The problem, though, is that you have the Eight of Swords crossing you. And the Eight of Swords is a card about not learning the lesson, not having paid karma, not understanding what karma is, and not really getting it. And sorry, I put these like weights on my computer so my computer doesn't fall asleep. One of them is this jar of juniper berry tincture that I made. Anyways, that's what's on my computer right now. So here's the thing. The Eight of Swords, though, is also about feeling restricted. For the two things to be intersecting, you have paying off karma, not learning the lesson, and completing karma. There's something here, you know, almost about going backwards. It's about, you know, unfinished business. I want to say unfinished business. Things that need to be attended to, things that still need to be learned, things that you are being stubborn about, things that you're not wanting to see, things that are challenging, things that in a way that seem to be never ending, things that don't necessarily have completed. This is like an old grudge. This is like an old habit. This is anything where, like an old relationship that you're unwilling to let go of, or an old way of viewpoint of seeing things that you're unwilling to change. This is stubbornness at its best, I want to say. You know, where you're stuck because you're refusing to do what you came here to do, which is to learn and to grow. Like the school of life, you know, the apple, you know, understanding that life is school. And it never really ends. Even when, you know, things are good, you're still learning. So when things are not so good, you have to take advantage of the opportunity for growth. It sounds like I talk about it like it's almost like a seminar type thing where you can hear somebody, you can see somebody with a microphone standing on a, you know, and they're talking to a large audience, you know, but I am in a way sort of doing that too. So, you know, it makes sense that, you know, that this is what I'm talking about to you, but, you know, whatever is unfinished in your life, whether it's not burying the hatchet with someone, whether it's like an old feud, an old grudge, an old relationship that needs to be cleaned out, something old. I want to say you have something It could be something you wear, or it could be like a piece of jewelry. For some of you, it's like a piece of jewelry. It could be like an old wedding ring. It could be like an old wedding dress, even. Or something that's very, very old that you're unwilling to let go of. This is, and the weird thing is, Aries is, this is not necessarily your style, although, you know, Aries tend to, if you have a lot of Capricorn in your chart, or if you do have a lot of Pisces in your chart, or even if you're in a relationship with a Pisces, it's not necessarily benefiting you because they're not learning the lesson. So if you have a Pisces in your life, they're not willing to learn. They're not willing to move on. They're not willing to grow. And so that's the problem. If it may be you that's unwilling to grow. It may be you that's unwilling to learn. It may be you that's having a really hard time with understanding, you know, the lesson. Whatever it is that you're going through, that's challenging. Whether it's a relationship, it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It could be someone who's in your life, or not even in their life, that you were supposed to learn something from and you're not. This is the thing where you cannot table it. It can't be tabled. It has to be addressed, okay? So, for whatever reason, if you are not addressing an issue, this will be problematic down the line. And actually, you do have the Tower coming in from the outside, which is the universe's way of waking you up. This is the universe's way of saying, nope, this isn't going to happen. Nope, you can't continue in the old way. If you're very, very stubborn, if you're one of those Aries that's very, very stubborn, it may not be somebody else. It could be somebody else in your life that has karmic issues, and they're bringing, you know, their karma is now your karma, especially if you're married, okay? It could be like a dark cloud type person, you know, someone who's negative, hanging over your head, someone that's around you that's negative. However, for the most part, I feel like most likely this is you, because whatever goes on in the center of the reading has to do with you. And some people are going to analyze and say, well, that has to do with somebody and so and so. And that may be true for you. That may be how you see it, and that may be how you want to see it. But ultimately, I see that this pertains to you. Your unwillingness to grow and your unwillingness to change. And the Tower comes in this position when this happens. So this is a perfect example of what happens when someone when somebody tunes out of their spiritual growth, when somebody tunes out of life, when somebody tunes out to being adaptable, being changeable, being moldable, going with the flow. It's sort of just like the flow that should be happening, that the blessing that should be coming in are not, because there's something that you're unwilling to do or you're unwilling to address, and that needs to happen in order for you to be blessed. And this to me is a divorce or breakup. The universe is saying this has to happen, whether you like it or not. This needs to happen at this time, and so there may be a major thing that happens too. You know, towards the middle to end of January. It could be somewhere in there. I don't feel like it's the tail end, but I don't necessarily feel like it's the middle exactly. You know, maybe around the 20th, between the 20th, 21st, 22nd, especially around the 22nd, because that's a gateway, that's a spiritual number. Could be even, I want to say the 21st too. So again, 20th, 21st, 22nd. These days are crucial for you to be very careful about what you're doing. I would be very careful if you go out anywhere, if you drive anywhere, be very safe. You know, take the long route, go slowly. We are in Mercury retrograde, and so, you know, these things are major. But I don't necessarily feel like it's like a car accident type thing. I feel like it has to do with your relationship. This is a blow up. This is the blow up. This is the blowout. This is the end. You know, the Tower takes all. And I do have a hashtag on Twitter, the Tower takes all. You can check out my Twitter. You know, I have at Oracle Daphne and at Birds Fly. for my Twitter pages. I have two. So definitely check out. I do post a lot of my hashtags. That's something that I for trends, something that I'm into right now. But you know, this is the Tower takes all. This means you cannot keep going in the way that you're going. Your relationship cannot continue. If you're in a relationship right now, chances are you're watching this video through the law of attraction, and what I'm telling you is going to ring true. Not everybody, if you are in a happy marriage, a very happy marriage, then I would say this does not pertain to you, okay? But for those of you who have been in I want to say long-term relationship, and it's deteriorated, and it's not just like one thing that somebody said, it's not just one thing that somebody did, it's like years and years and years and years and years and years have gone by, and nothing has changed. It's been the status quo, and it's been stuck forever. When somebody feels stuck, the natural reaction is to want to like break out of it. And it's actually, you do have the Nine of Cups, which is the Piscean energy too, which if you're in a relationship with the Pisces, chances are, or even a water sign, it doesn't have to be Pisces, it could be Cancer, Scorpio, male also too, where they want to be free, okay? So they're ready to get out of the relationship. They're ready, okay? Because it's been coming for some time. And again, most people know that it's coming. You'll know, okay? This should not come as a shock. If anybody is like shocked by this, you know, this is probably not pertaining to you, okay? There's a lot of divorce stuff going on this time around, mid to end of January. I'm not sure why, but I feel like there's a lot of divorce stuff, a lot of Tower stuff. The thing is that when certain cards show up in certain positions, it's what I call a hard block. It's something that you cannot overcome unless you basically, you know, experience that energy. The Tower is one of them. You know, psychics talk about the Tower ad nauseum for you know, since the beginning of tarot, basically, about how intense it is, how important it is to recognize it and take it seriously, because it's a very intense energy. This card also talks about fear and doubt and loss, okay? So the Eight of Swords energy is a lot about the negative energy, like the dark cloud, the fear, the doubt, anything that's kind of hanging over your head, okay? The Tower coming in from the outside, though, to me is the universe's way of waking you up, but it's also waking up your fears, waking up your doubts. It can, in some cases, indicate that. I feel like for most of you, it's just a relationship that needs to come to an end. That's the bottom line. Okay, so for the card in the position of what's happening in the immediate future, you got the one of the Star cards, okay? And the Star card is a lot about being very focused on career, being well known. This is the movie star, the music star, the magic performer, the YouTube channel star. This is someone who's come into their own power through their career, okay? So the issue with the Tower in this coming in from the outside, it's sort of just like, okay, la-ti-da, you're doing your career, you're working hard, you know, because you have the Six of Wands crowning you. So you're thinking about career, or even if you're not working, you're thinking about career, you're thinking about what you want to do. You've got this very strong Wands energy, which is the fire energy, to go for it. That's you. Aries guys, you know, you may be very focused on career, and you may be very high-powered in career in a high-level position, or just be very focused on getting to that high-level position, okay? Aries females, I feel like, you know, for those of you who are older, you know, this is kind of figuring out maybe where you want to be, you know, what you want to do with your career. Because, you know, in a way you haven't come into your own yet, which is the Nine of Pentacles, which is soon to happen. Okay, so you're going through your daily life, la-ti-da, everything's the same, and then the Tower comes in and says, no, it's not. Okay. It's sort of the monkey wrench. It is the monkey wrench. It is where, there may be some major wake-up call that happens where the universe is going to force you in a way to think about what you're doing. Now, for some of you, to me, this kind of indicates job loss because you have the Nine of Pentacles, which is career, followed by the Eight of Pentacles. For those of you who are working, to me, this is switching jobs. This is the network. This is communicating. This is kind of branching out. This is getting creative, doing something creative. I feel like the same way of the same operating system, the old operating system, is going to change. Something major is going to change. Throw the monkey wrench in January. Again, this could be with your partner. This could be your partner again. That's going through something like this. So it may not even be you that's having like a major job change or career change. It may just be somebody else. But I feel like for the most part, these are the Nine of Pentacles. A lot of times is the Aries female who has a lot of talents. Aries females are their goal, what they need to do is they need to have healthy self-focus and healthy self-love. So a lot of times they can really shine because they have the firepower to do it, okay? And because everybody likes to look at them, everybody likes to talk to them, everybody likes to be around them. They're very fun, they have this fun, vibrant energy, star-like quality, which is very dazzling to a lot of people. It's hard to understand Aries motivation sometimes, but this is the energy that's present. So I feel like something may happen with your job. You may be looking for a new job towards the end of January. I feel like you are going to find one, and I feel like some of you are going to be working very hard at whatever it is that you do because you are very focused on your career. It may not be career related even. I'm actually thinking now maybe more just relationship related because you all around the tower, you have 3 career cards. So, it's sort of just like you're working. Something major happens with your relationship and then you can keep on working. It's sort of just like you keep on trucking, Aries. It's almost like you don't even really skip a beat. Again, I feel like those of you who are in a deteriorated relationship are going to know if this is you or not. You have the Queen of Swords as the foundation, and the Queen of Swords is bitterness. It's the Ice Queen. It's Bridezilla. It's a little bit diva-esque in a less positive way. And it usually is the Cancer or the Capricorn. So you may have, sorry, did I say Cancer? Could be Cancer. Aquarius or Capricorn, somewhere in your chart, okay? Someone who's upset or bitter. This is bitterness because of the end of a relationship. This is bitterness because things aren't going your way. This is bitterness because you feel like you can't trust anybody. This is somebody who has trust issues. And I talked about this in one of my other videos where it's sort of an interesting thing about trust. And it's something that I'm just learning about. Everybody teaches us when we're young that if you break up with someone, it's sort of like, how can you trust again? Because obviously you couldn't trust that person enough to be in a long-term relationship. Well, that's not the reality. The reality is you have karma here. So that means you're supposed to be learning a lesson from that person for whatever reason. And that means, and it's in the center of everything. So it's touching everything. That really means that they've come into your life to teach you, and the lesson may be learned through pain. The lesson may be learned through the breakup. The lesson may be learned through the divorce. The lesson may be learned, from them through this experience. So you definitely should remember that when you tell yourself, oh, you can't trust again. How could you trust again? Well, it was a lesson that you needed to learn, period. So therefore, it's not something that you could have avoided. It's not something that happened because, it may have been something done to you in a way. You may see yourself as the victim, but I would strongly caution you against that, okay? Because nobody in a way, we're all victims of the victims of everything, and in a way, no, everybody is and everybody isn't the victim. Okay, of life. We've signed up for this for whatever reasons. We decided to take on this project, this lovely project called life, and we signed up for it to learn certain things for a reason. So we need to again remember that it's not all about just one person. It's not just about one person that comes into our life and breaks our hearts. No. It's about the lessons we learn through the people we date, through the people we engage with, even the people that we sleep with, you know, just someone random. It's all part of our learning experience. So these are things to keep in mind. I do feel like I don't feel like you are the victim here. I want to say that you're not the victim here. So you may have trust issues too. You may have trust issues. There may have been trust issues in the past. There may have been cheating in the past. There may be cheating in the present. Anything that's gone on that's negative, that's kind of plaguing you, torturing you, this is something you need to examine because your soul is ready to move on. So, you know, it's time to let go and let God and say, okay, I'm going to move on from this. I'm going to take what the lessons that I can learn from this. I'm not going to be bitter because there's no reason to be bitter. You've learned something through maybe a hard experience, but there's no reason to try to make amends and try to make even amends with yourself. You know, stop blaming yourself. Stop seeing yourself as a non-willing party because you came in and you wanted to learn something from this experience. So you were a willing party, regardless. Okay, so continuing on, I feel like there's 3 cards here that talk about death also. So there could be a death in the family. You know, because this is Aries, it could be an Aries. If you're like, say, a Pisces watching this for like an Aries family member or somebody like that, this could be them, okay? If you are an Aries, a younger Aries, I don't feel like this is applicable to you. I feel like this would be an older Aries who's very, very old, because this is the completion of karma. So it's almost like, and it's also ascension. So, and this can be, there's like a hand there, and I always, you know, I always see death as kind of like a, you know, like a hand, like a, you know, somebody's, you know, taking you, you know, you're kind of being snatched from life, you know, that kind of thing. And the Tower can also indicate death, something sudden, so something traumatic. So all 3 together, I feel like this would be like an older family member or an older Aries, somebody who is very, very old, you know, and, you know, very rarely do I feel like the Tower signifies a death, but in this case, I feel like it does. This is not going to be applicable to everyone. This is not fear mongering. This is not where I'm trying to, but, put fear into the heart of Aries, because Aries worries a lot, and Aries is naturally paranoid, and everything's bigger than it is. So I want you to just like, you know, I want you to see what comes, you know, towards the end of January. There may be something that happens, though. To me, most likely for most of you, it's a blowout, it's a divorce. I don't necessarily feel like it's a job loss. For most of you, it's not a job loss. It may be a job loss for some of you. But again, that's only because it's sort of like it's weird, because to me this is what you're supposed to be doing, and these are like more like jobs that you are that's I want to say jobs that are more just like everyday jobs that you might be doing just to do it for the money, okay? That's the paycheck to paycheck job. This is something special. This is where you use your talents and gifts. And also, because it is matching up with the Tower, I feel like this may be, it may come as a sudden shock to you what you're supposed to be doing. It may just like be like boom, like come to you like lightning, like the Tower, where it's, you get an idea. make sure you're writing down what your ideas and what comes to you in the shower and all that stuff. Anything that comes to you, randomly write it down, because that's an idea, and that idea is money, and it's worth something. Your talents and gifts are worth something. So make sure you're listening to your intuition too. And I want to say overnight success for some people. Some people, they're going to hit the jackpot. It's going to be unexpected. It's going to be boom. Suddenly, they're very successful. They weren't expecting it. It's sort of like when I began all my videos, I had no idea that it was going to go and start to blow up the way it has. And that everybody and their mom would want to contact me and have readings and all that stuff. So I was working full-time in an office, at the front desk. So it was just like, unexpected. So this may be unexpected success for some of you. Something that's really, really powerful. Something you're not expecting. That's very applicable to who you are. If there's an opportunity that comes up, also jump on it, because this is where you're going to get success. And I have tingles on that, very strong feeling on that for you. So. And again, going back to you, being the Queen of Swords here, you need to do things that warm your heart. You need to spend more time with animals. You need to spend more time outside. You need to have more fun activities and do things that make you feel good. Okay. Aries loves to shop, so I'm going to say go shopping. You need to go shopping. I want to say redo your wardrobe is also something that's coming up here, because it came up through the tower. It's the natural thing that comes to my mind. Out with the old, in with the new. Anything that you have that's very, very old, you might want to consider, either donating or selling or, thrifting or something like that. Because I don't necessarily feel like you need to have the new. And the funny thing is that Aries, it loves new things. The Aries loves the new. They love the new clothes, the new jewelry, the new hat, the coat, the scarf. They love it all. They love the new relationship. They love the new, the new job. So, and get in touch with that side of you. Because the Aries is the pioneer, the person that's ready to blast off, ready to move forward, ready for the new. You kind of are a little bit stuck, I want to say mid-January, because you're not embracing that. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. You need to embrace the new. So, sorry, there's a fuzz. So if there's, a person in your life that's really affecting you this way, in a negative way, you need to move past it. You need to move on from it. You need to grow. Someone else got the Eight of Swords too, and I think it was Taurus, and it might have been, and again, you may have some planets, Aries, you may have some planets in Taurus. This can indicate, a jail situation in some cases. Freedom, because you have this Eight of Cups, which is moving on from hard times, blessings, abundance. It may have been the reverse. You may have felt that everything was really, really great, and then everything went to shit, and then you fell on kind of hard times, and it's been hard. It's been a struggle. But again, it may be the reverse, where you just feel stuck but are really, really blessed. So make sure you're writing down, sort of gratitude journal, all the things that you're grateful for, say your prayers, and I want to say wait on the will of heaven. That's what comes out and wants to roll off my tongue here too. But you may have just been freed from, released from jail. So, that's the Eight of Cups, being released, having the freedom to do things too. So I feel like that's it, though. I think this was quite an interesting reading for you. Feel free to check out my new website, oracledaphne.com, and I send you big hugs, and big kisses, like always. And feel free to reach out if you'd like a private reading, and stay tuned for more videos. And thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, Google+ing. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. You totally are so cool. So, yeah, so be in touch, and I wish you guys all the best. Okay, take care.